Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Raw review and opinions video. So honestly, really great Raw. This is a top 5, certainly a top 10 Raw of 2025 so far. And really enjoyed it. I mean, Roman Reigns returned and yeah, there is a few people concerned that we might end up with Jay and Roman as a team for SummerSlam. I certainly hope it doesn't go that way, but yeah, with CM Punk obviously now going to go on to face Gunther, you kind of look at Bron and you look at Bronson, and then you look at Roman and you look at Jay. It doesn't take too much to put 2 and 2 together to see that we could be heading to a tag match. So I hope not. I think it would be better if we actually did Roman in a singles match, but maybe that was the plan. Perhaps we were going to get Roman in a singles match and it was going to be against Seth, but with Seth's injury, I wonder if that now changes. So just something that I've seen and been tagged in, people kind of sharing a few thoughts on that. But Roman came back. Obviously, CM Punk won. He now goes on to face Gunther. That'll be amazing. Gauntlet was fun. I wasn't as crazy about the Gauntlet as the community. I didn't think the Gauntlet was like edge of the seat, like absolutely fascinating. I thought that it was pretty predictable in regards to like how it was going to play out, because I don't think Penta had much of a chance. There was only one heel in the match, so it was pretty obvious that Bron was going to stick around and they were going to really showcase Bron Breakker. But I always felt that CM Punk would emerge as the winner. So it was all right, but you lot said it was great 84, which is just really high. Really, really high. I actually preferred Lyra Bayley. Lyra Bayley, you lot said was great 76, which I thought was fair. So I think my Gauntlet score would have been lower than that. It would have been below great 76, and I think Lyra Bayley would have been my top match. But I think, to be honest with you, the score for the Gauntlet is probably greatly helped by the fact that Roman comes back after, and I think that that might have kind of influenced the score a little bit. As well as that, obviously, we had Chelsea and Nikki. That scored good 93. We also had Kabuki Warriors against Raquel and Roxanne. That was good 96. That was all we had, was 4 matches, but obviously one of them was a Gauntlet match, so there was still quite a bit of wrestling on the show. But as well as that, we had some announcements. Obviously, we've really made progress with SummerSlam. We know that Lyra is going to be taking on Becky. We know that Tiffany Jade is confirmed. We know about Cena and Cody. That's obviously already sorted. And we know about Jelly Roll and Logan and that tag match. So we knew about those. But obviously, the show started with Naomi. Fantastic. Loved the open. I think it's brilliant that she's moved to Raw. She's going to be defending that championship in a triple threat. No way do I think we take that belt off Naomi. I think this character is something we need to invest in. We need to explore. And I hope that Naomi continues to do that. You know, she's been doing some really fun stuff. I read earlier that, you know, they took off the side plates, EO's side plates, and she's talking about potentially selling those on eBay, which I really hope she does, because, you know, that would be absolutely hilarious. And it's just moments like that that are going to continue to kind of, you know, add to people enjoying this new character. So great, really enjoyed that. Love Lyra Bayley, as we said. But yeah, lots of little backstage things like the Dominic news. You know, if he gets cleared next week, then he will be having a match at SummerSlam with AJ, and we saw AJ praying, hoping that Dominic does get cleared. We found out that Seth, no real update, but it doesn't look like they're going to take that Money in the Bank briefcase off him. So it looks like he is going to be keeping that. And obviously the Roman news as well, as we said. So for 2.5 hours, it flew by. It absolutely flew by. I didn't feel bored. Yes, there's elements of this show that can be improved. You know, Chelsea, Nikki could have been a better match. Stephanie making the save there was interesting as well, of course. Becky coming down in Becky Hogan colours. I did not notice at the time, but yeah, well spotted by those that spotted that she was in red and yellow like Hogan. Very good. So yeah, just fun, honestly. Just really, really fun. So score-wise, I'm probably like 7.5, 7.75. I don't think this opens the door to the 8s. The only reason why I say that is I wasn't as crazy about the Gauntlet as you guys. And the opening match, Kabuki Warriors against Raquel and Roxanne, I think that could have been better. Chelsea, Nikki, I think that could have been better. But honestly, if people are adamant that this is like an 8 out of 10 type show, I would definitely listen. I would definitely listen. I would not have a big argument to make, to be honest. So for me, I'm like 7.5, 7.75. And as I said, I think, you know, the Gauntlet was... It went on for a little while. Obviously, it went clocked in at like 40 minutes or whatever, which is absolutely fine. Gauntlets do that. But I didn't find it to be like a thrill ride. I didn't find it to be like the most amazing match. I've seen way better Gauntlet matches. But it was fine. It was good. It was really enjoyable. And as I said, this is, you know, this is the reason as to why I'm in the sevens. That's kind of why I'm focused on that. So 7.5, 7.75, that's where I am. So let's see where you lot are. Nando said Bayley, Lyra kind of low-key carried. I agree. I think that's the best match as well. In my opinion, it was more engaging when Babyface, Iron Man, Gauntlets. The final match with Punk was great though, and happy my goat Roman is back, says Nando. Timmy said some great matches there and good matches. Match of the night, main event, and Timmy has gone with an 8. Gabriel said Paul Heyman had some references to Roman and Brock. We got Roman tonight. Will we get Brock at SummerSlam? I don't believe so. Heyman said Beast Conqueror, Big Dog his yards. I'm only saying. Yeah, I kind of touched on that in Unseen. I think that they're not... I don't believe they're teases for a return for Brock. They could be, you know, they could be, but I don't believe they are. I think it's more that he's trying to use phrases that are associated with, you know, big superstars like Roman, like Brock, but he's actually talking about Bron Breakker. So that's kind of how I interpreted it. But obviously, you know, with the merch situation the other day, with Heyman posting, you know, happy birthday to the Beast. Yeah, something to keep an eye on. But yeah, you know, it's worth just having the conversation. Where are we, or what have we heard about Brock? There's been nothing that's kind of come through since Saturday. And yeah, I'm still leaning towards he isn't coming back until that legal stuff is sorted. Logan said Raw was good. I love how the majority of the show was women, which was good to see. They are putting them on the show more. With Roman returning at the end, I feel like we might do Roman and Jay versus Bron and Bronson. Hoping for Roman Bron Breakker 1-on-1, said Logansby. Jay Omega said Raw rating: Rox, Raquel, Asuka, Kairi 6.5, Lyra, Bayley 8. Nikki, Chelsea 6, Gauntlet match 8.5, so overall 7.5. Love the first hour was full of women's matches and segments. Show was dominated mostly by women, which is what I love, says J Omega. Parker, Tiffy Time said it was a very good show tonight. Very good. Carl said mostly solid, but main event was horrible, and it brings it down big time. It was, it went exactly as expected. And then you've got the utter BS joke of Jay doing the yeet in the middle. Yeah, that's true. That is true, actually. Even the commentators were struggling with that. You know, Corey was like, I think Michael Cole was trying to explain why it was okay, you know. But Corey made the point where you didn't see him doing it in the middle of the match at WrestleMania when he was trying to beat Gunther. Yeah, good point. Good point. Roman, no fire, says Cole. Tribal Chief said, amazing Raw, loved it. Lyra Bayley, a banger. Nikki hasn't aged today, she's amazing. Gauntlet was amazing. And the OTC is back. Hell yeah. Ratings are going to touch the sky now. Overall, 10 out of 10. Thanks for the stream. Shout out to you, buds. Raymond said, Daze, I thought Raw tonight was very good, and every match was so good, and I was very excited to see Roman return. Now that pop was insane too. So I will rate Raw tonight a very solid 8.25. Shout out to you, buds. Christopher said OTC, OTC. Jade said monorail. What's it called? OTC. That's right, OTC. Brendan, loving the fact that Roman is back. And Tyler said, really love this episode of Raw. I feel like Raw is better without Pat. I love the return of the OTC, but I wonder if the feud was supposed to be with Seth. Tyler, of course, I agree with your first point. I have personally never been a fan of Pat, and that is me being very kind. I just think I find Corey just has a better tone. I think Michael becomes a lot more professional as well. I find that they resemble more of a professional commentary team. I think that Corey's comments are a lot more professional and actually add to the matches. I agree. I much prefer it, but then people that have been watching the watch-alongs and whatever and these reviews for a while will not be surprised by that. And I agree, the return of the OTC was very, very cool. John Elite said, I love Heyman's endorsement of Bron. Glad to see Roman back. OTC won. I love Jay, but can we stop the encore yeeting? AJ has been hilarious these past few weeks. I'm loving the proceed with caution gimmick for Naomi. I am the Colour Red said, I think the male superstars should petition for their own PLE after how they were booked tonight. OTC, YTC, OTC1, WWE will try any variation of TC to sell t-shirts. But it's so good that Roman is back. But it does look like it'll be Roman J versus Bron. Punk Gunther should be fire, says I am the Colour Reds. Chris said, Daze, fun watch. Don't know what to think. 2 nights in a row of great WWE shows at 7.5. Let's go. CM Punk hopefully wins the world title at SummerSlam. And of course, the insane return of the OTC, as the kids would say, Roman, is the meaning of the word aura. Chris, shout out to you, buds. Austin316 said, one of the best Raws in forever. The women once again killed it when it came to the in-ring stuff. I hate that Lyra is facing Becky again, though, but almost everything else was good or great. And we got the return of the GOAT, the #1 guy, the face of WWE, Roman Reigns. Shaquem sending in another GIF, and I think he enjoyed Raw this time. Dean said Raw was really good. All the matches were good. I thought Jay was going to win the Gauntlet, but still happy CM Punk won. I was really surprised when the OTC returned. I think at SummerSlam it'll be Jay and OTC versus Breaker and Bronson, and loved the stream. I really hope it's not. I really hope it's Jay versus Bronson and Roman versus Bron in 2 singles matches. I think people would rather that. Taker1990 said Raw was an 8. Due to women rule in WWE, OTC's return, Steph's injury might be a work because he will foil Punk beating Gunther at SummerSlam, says Taker1990. Brady said, I love that the first 90 minutes was only women. We can keep that every week. Roman is back, which will help the build to what should be a huge SummerSlam. I have a feeling that the Kabuki Warriors will get a rematch against Judgment Day, which will lead to a triple threat tag match at SummerSlam. El Patata said Bayley, Lyra was amazing. 4 women segments in a row. I believe Sean took the pen. A 50-minute match ending with a Jay interference kind of ruined it for me. Also, it would be great if they kept Asuka's aura intact. Great show overall. The wrestling part was there. Uncle Howdy Dreads said 10 out of 10, but I still love you, Roman Reigns. Chanel said, give Naomi her Oscar right now. She is a breath of fresh air. I want her to retain over 1,000 days. She was 7.5. Eric said, I think this was one of the best Raws in a long time. And not just because Roman came back. Every match was fun. Uncle Revel said Raw was a fun show that flew by. Predictable, but sometimes that's a good thing. SummerSlam is shaping up nicely. If Punk takes the title, it will be an amazing day when Seth cashes in on him. It was meant to be 7.5. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, nice opening with the ladies. Naomi is on fire. 1 3/4 matches featuring women. Celebrate them. Excellent 2 out of 3 falls. Let the girls cook. Nikki looks really good in ring. Hope we get Brie too. Great Heyman promo called Bron a Steiner. Great Gauntlet match with all the bells and whistles. 7.25. Well, I was really thinking as I was reading that this was going to be like an 8.5, 8.75, something like that. So I'm surprised it came out as a 7.25. Cats, hello, my friends. I thought it was great. Raw, especially that main event, had me on my toes, yelling at the TV and jumping all over the place. I'm glad they didn't let Jay go out like that. Congratulations, CM Punk, and welcome back, OTC1. Yeet. 10 out of 10 for me. Well, Nishi said it was a fantastic episode of Raw. Lyra, Bayley tore the house down, and the Gauntlet match was out of this world too. I love Naomi's promo, and it's great to have Roman back. 9 out of 10. Nitro said, what a first hour, perfectly continuing to highlight the women and their efforts the night before. After the reports in winter of Punk versus Gunther matches, I'm excited for it. Dom might give AJ his best match in years, which is exciting. Monday Night Mothers is 8 out of 10. Forgot to add, out of the 4 shows, I went 15-9 on predictions. What a great weekend. All of wrestling. It never stops. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, buds. All things wrestling. Loving the return of the OTC. Kins said, one of the best Raws I've seen in a while. 8 out of 10. I Shipped My Pants said 2 yeets with the crowd mid-match. Would dislike if that became a regular thing. Would ruin matches for sure. Yeet. And I think, is this a yeet meme? Well, talking of ruining things. Blue Will Smith said, I'm very happy Roman Reigns returns. The OTCs, we the ones. Raw review, Rox, Raquel defeat Asuka, Kyrie, rank D. Lyra defeats Bayley, rank B. Nikki defeats Chelsea, rank D. And finally, the main event Gauntlet, rank B+. Overall, this week, Monday Night Raw, rank C+. Bayley barely made it. I thought that said Bayley made it, but it's not. It's barely made it. Blue Will Smith, shout out to you. Black Eye said, women continue to steal the show. Good on them. Saving wrestling, giving me hope for WWE. Punk winning, loved it, deserves to be champ. I would go 8, but I'm lowering it because of Roman's return. Women save wrestling. OTC ruins it. David Stark said it was a decent Raw. I can't complain too much, except for this OTC 1 stuff. Absolute malarkey. The one OTC would be more manageable, but come on. We need to have a talk with whoever came up with that. Anyway, Raw overall 7.2. Vic said it was a solid show with how great Evolution was. Felt like they kept the momentum going tonight. Naomi has been doing such good work. Interesting that Grayson seemingly being the third in the New Day now. Where's Theory? Glad to have Roman back though. It probably won't be for long. 7.75. Edward said all the women's matches was fire. Overall, 9. Wrestling fans since day one said Bayley and Lyra was match of the night for me. Paul Heyman should have been the mouthpiece for Bron when he first came up to the main roster. That's what I would have done if I was booking, said wrestling fans since day one. And last, Roman being back was fantastic. Can't wait to see what's next with him. OTC1. OTC1. Right, Casey said 8 out of 10. All the women stole the show once again, and the main event was just as good. Even before the OTC return, we need more shows like this. Football 24085 said 8 out of 10. Roman being back is always great. Lyra Bayley delivered. Tag match was okay. Main event was great. Love all the SummerSlam matches beside the Jelly Roll one. Love that Karrion got an actual edited promo. Push Karrion Cross. We want Cross. Allison said it was great and awesome show. Las Vegas Matt said we got wrestling, and like you said, so many talking points. It didn't drag on. I was captivated. I loved it, and I think the kind of formula is a winning one. The first hour going to the women was great. Roman returned. We got memes from Gunther and AJ. I give it 8.25. Las Vegas Matt. I think that's very fair. And I'm really pleased to hear that you enjoyed it. And it seems like all Game 17 and Armando enjoyed it as well, because Armando says, great show today. Really liked how the pace of the show went. Slowed down just a little bit with Chelsea-Nikki match, but great show overall. Happy to get Roman at OTC back. That was great to see. Back-to-back nights with 2 great endings. What more can I ask for? 7-2. 5. And all Game 17 said that was a good show. Still like Evolution a bit better, but I'm feeling generous, so 8 out of 10. Thanks to that surprise ending. Good. People seem to really, really enjoy this Raw. And God, isn't it just so much better to be talking about shows that have actually gone well? I sort of feel like we see shows that were pretty mid, and we're sort of like having to talk about why they were a bit mid, and finding the positives as well, of course. But, you know, after a while, people are like, oh my God, what's going wrong with WWE and all this, you know, it's doom and gloom. And then bang, bang, you know, two really, really good shows. I mean, listen, Great American Bash was good on Saturday. You know, Great American Bash was not a bad show. So, I mean, it was a Saturday night's main event, I think, really, you know, kind of sucked the joy out of the WWE fans. But Evolution more than put it back. And then they followed it up with a great Raw. And you know that NXT is going to deliver tomorrow because it always flipping does. So the good times, hopefully, are going to keep on rolling. So, yes, that's when we're next back. We're back later for NXT, and we'll be doing another review and opinions video for that. So a big thank you to everyone that joined us over the weekend. We did a lot of streaming. Obviously, we did SmackDown, we did Great American Bash, we did Saturday Night's Main Event, we did Evolution, we've done Raw. We're back again tomorrow. But yeah, appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.